So, welcome everyone to the Slam Jam Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extremes channel. This is the show which frequently combines improv with podcast, with game show. It can be any of these things, it can be all of these things. Occasionally it'll be none of these things. This week though, there has been lots of things happening in the world of professional wrestling. So I thought it only appropriate that myself and the Core Meister do react and respond to these sort of things. So, Corey, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. How are you doing? I'm here from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I want to let you know that Bill DeMont is billed at 6'2".
But wow, what book is that? 2003. Now, yeah. I have something in particular which should be within reach to be able to share, because one of the things that we can be reacting to in particular is the Clash at the Castle, which was the other day, and I was there live. And when you look through
Bill DeMott?
Bill DeMott? No, but when you look through this has tons and tons of people that weren't on the show, so the perfect program to sell you. It's like there was very few wrestlers on the show. It was a very good show though, so they made up for it. But you just go through it, and they didn't even give us Veer Mahan. So, just unbelievable stuff.
He's been coming for so long that you'd think.
I know that he's still coming somewhere. Gav, hello.
How you doing? You good?
Good. How are you doing, Gav?
Oh, I've been better, but we're positive. Stay positive.
Yes, absolutely. And in this time, let's take a brief moment just to recognise that it's a little bit of a sad occasion here in the UK. It was just announced literally just before we're going live on the show that Her Majesty the Queen has passed away, and that's very sad. But we will endeavour to keep a stiff upper lip and keep calm and carry on, as is the British way. Gav, we were just talking about the Clash of the Castle was this weekend. I was there live. We'll respond to that. We'll respond to... I don't know if anything else has been going on in the world of professional wrestling. Not much.
This has been a dull week.
It's been a little bit of a dull week indeed. Yeah. But we may have someone else.
I've got an idea.
Oh, hello, Assad Khan. Hang on, Assad, we have to introduce that you are here in the comment.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hi.
How are you doing, Assad?
I've got an idea. What you should do is at the top of the show, Slam Jam Wrestling Show, you should give the Queen a 10-bell salute.
Do you know what, Assad, we are live, so, the top of the show was about, 7 minutes ago, but I may actually be able to do this. Let me just have a look, because I haven't done this in a very long time. But let's see if I can do this. So,
did you know also that Bill DeMott was trained by the Hall of Famer Johnny Rodz?
Okay, that's cool. 1 second though, Corey, you won't be able to hear this, but I haven't used it in about a year, but we actually do have a bell that the audience should hear. So I've done it once, so we'll do another. And, well, that's 2. It's quite slow loading, guys, so we might just do these periodically throughout the show. 3. Look, with the greatest of respect to this situation, I think it dings a few times each time, so that's probably about 14 bell salute. But you get the idea. And Assad, I think that was quite a nice idea.
Thank you.
So, Assad, are you joining us just in audio form, or are you going to emerge?
Just the audio form, if that's going to be okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Assad, we'll begin a little bit with you then. So, Assad, what is your take on the wrestling from the last weekend and the last week, I suppose?
We'll begin a little bit with the whole development with the Elite and CM Punk, etc. That situation.
Yep, certainly.
Well, I personally think it's the greatest worked angle in the history of professional wrestling.
Boom! I completely agree. It's a work, guys. Everything about it is work. I will die on this hill that it is a work. Everything about it is work.
Everyone is making money. Even Colt Cabana is going to make money out of this. So, of course, it makes sense. Have you guys not been watching wrestling for so long to not understand? But it's amazing how real it is. And the whole gap between real and fake, there's a big blur, and that's what makes it 10 times better. But I know deep down it's a work, but the people are actually falling for it, and the wonder is there. Like, what if it's true, and what if it's fake? So I think it's great.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I could go on, and at some point I will. But Gav, whilst we're still on this topic, is there anything you want to say on it?
Now, I'm a bit confused, but I think it's real. I think
Ooh,
it's real.
okay.
But the thing that's swaying me is because of the police.
Yeah.
The police have said that they weren't involved, and I'm not too sure what's going on, to be honest.
Well, yeah. No, just to very quickly add on that. So if they said stuff about, oh, there's going to be legal stuff, why
Yeah.
wouldn't have you reported it?
Then again, wrestlers, would you call the police?
Well, that's a very good point as well. That's a very good point.
There
Any-
was a Zoom call, that was scheduled at 4 p.m. today. That's what I heard. I think Belzer said that. I'm not sure. But
it's supposed to be a
I don't know what
conference
happened in that regard. But if it is real, I feel that if at all it is real, see, one of the biggest reasons why I think it's fake is because they did it in a very strategic way where they were not very obvious about it. Okay, so with the whole CM Punk shoot promo back in 2011, he did live on Monday Night Raw, and it was sort of, somewhere in the middle, people were shocked. It had the big shock element, but people did realize eventually that it was a work, right? As far as next week, even, because I think the next week's show was taped, and people understood that CM Punk has been suspended or something like that. Because that same week they were recording for the next week's show. Something like that was happening, I think. So I'm not sure what happened. But since it happened at the media scrum, it was not very obvious that it was, real. That they made it in a way wherein they did it where people would not watch most of the stuff, and then they would later realize it online. So that's how they created the whole buzz around it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, okay. Corey, you've got an interesting tweet behind you. You can either give us that now. Okay, what's it say? Good night, Hulkamaniacs. What is this? Is it sad?
It's Hulk Hogan.
No, I know, but it's like good night, Hulkamaniacs. That's all I read. I just didn't know if it was some sort of like bad thing that's happened. Right.
This is back in 2011, though.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's just
Corey,
talking about works and marks.
what's your quick take on this, and then we can dig into some of the details, I guess.
Look, I thought this is real. This is 100% real because they really shot themselves in the foot because this MJF thing was it work, was it shoot? I don't know, but then they were leading up to it for so long. He finally comes back, and then they shoot themselves in the foot, or I guess CM Punk does, metaphorically and somewhat literally. And now he's no longer, maybe not in the production anymore. But also, now I've worked myself into thinking it's just an actual work because CM Punk is allegedly injured, so he would have to vacate the title anyway. So at least this is a hotter angle than he's just injured again. And also, I think that perhaps Kenny Omega is not fully recovered, so they wanted for the trios titles to go on those three, the Elite, as the inaugural title holders, so they can still claim that. But now they can have people that can actually work in the foreseeable future.
Well, do you know, Corey, you bring up some really good points there. And so it was All Out, their biggest show of the year. How could they have this show without Omega, without Punk? It was in Chicago. Punk's got to be there. He wasn't ready a few weeks ago. What's the biggest story? That he unifies the interim championship or that he wins the world championship? Now, they could do that, but if he has to drop it because he's not ready or he's injured or whatever's going on, then what better thing to do than to have something where, look, MJF comes back and they're cheering him. He's got to be a face. But how can he be a face against a face Punk? So Punk had to be heel. Punk sat down. This is one of the things that people are scrutinising. That Punk sat down at this thing, and Nick Hausman or whoever this guy is, because I don't honestly know. Oh, he's going to ask a question. Punk went in there with the agenda, and it wasn't the agenda that, I'm going to have a go at the dirt sheets. It's going to be, we're going to get straight to business, and we're going to do what my mission was here, which is to blow up the internet, which was to create, basically, look, we know he loves his Bret Hart references. The Montreal Screwjob, they couldn't do something like that. The Screwjob has been done so much, but what has not been done ever since the Montreal Screwjob is what happened in the back between Bret and Vince. And, I'm going to go in the shower, and if you're here when I come back, I'm going to punch you. They just come up with this brilliant idea that the Bucks are going to go back there. There's going to be a fight that no one witnesses, and there will be rumours, even 5 years ago, there was Hall and Nash on a shoot interview saying, I think the Montreal Screwjob was a work, brother, blah, blah, blah. They're going to still be saying this about this situation in 20 years. I think they've come up with the most elaborate work in history.
I think if it is a work, then bravo.
Yeah, mwah. Absolutely.
The other thing that kind of threw me off was after the supposed promo that Hangman Page cut on Punk.
Yeah.
Punk was fine with it, and he even sent out a tweet praising Hangman before, and he was actually seen hugging him as well.
I have a slight theory on that, Gav. Right, so when that initial thing that no one really picked up on as being a big problem, that may have been them planting a seed. They perhaps didn't know that Punk was going to break his foot. But if it was real, then Punk might have been like, right, I'm going to take the title from you, and then I'll be untouchable to do whatever. And because they know that people may be able to anticipate that, they could still do it as a work. So it's like, once he's got the title, he's got, this power, he's got the say-so, he's got the platform to be able to say whatever, and they can't get rid of their world champion. But then he injured himself, and so when he came back, they had to resurrect this planted seed out of thin air. So that's why he did that thing a few weeks ago. It's like, I'm going to sit here and wait for you to challenge me. Hangman Page. That's coward shit or whatever, right? And it's like, where did this come from? It's because they had only 2 weeks to work it into the storylines before this press conference. And you think of all the F-bombs that Punk dropped during the press conference, they couldn't do that on TV. But if it was real, then why wouldn't he speak his mind on TV if he really meant it? So they had to do it somewhere where he could just say anything and everything. It wasn't the pipe bomb, it was an extreme pipe bomb, I
think I mentioned this as well. The thing is, if this is or isn't real, then everyone in that room would have had to be clued up, I think. The only reason I say that is because you've got the TV deals, and I think I mentioned it in our group chat.
Yeah.
The network deals as well. So that would actually, because that interview actually showed, or the scrum, showed Tony Khan in a negative light to me. Mm-hmm. And even him grasping for his bottle of water, he couldn't even drink it.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Sometimes you get nervous when you're performing and you have to remember your lines, and maybe that's and I think that they now that the Elite and CM Punk are not going to be on our screens, they have a chance to elevate people they're stars that people love, Tony Nese.
Yeah,
Tony Nese can be elevated now.
Absolutely. But do you know what though? Here's the other thought. So, Colt Cabana. Now we know stuff happened in the past, and we know that Colt Cabana really lawyered up against Punk and stuff like this. But even CM Punk kind of went back to WWE to be on their SmackDown after show or whatever. Even though it wasn't WWE, he was still on a WWE themed program. At some point, him and Punk backstage, they were like, look, we lost a lot of money in this lawsuit thing. I lost a lot of money suing you and stuff like this. How can we get this money back? Do this. And now, at certain... what is it as well? We're so angry because Colt Cabana has been moved to Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor doesn't even exist. Like he's still like Colt Cabana is still on the All Elite Wrestling roster page. What does it mean he's been moved to Ring of Honor?
As well, CM Punk and Colt Cabana has actually been on the same cards like numerous times.
Yeah,
in AEW. So
yeah,
what's the big deal? I don't know.
This is just a masterstroke. Assad, are you still with us?
No, he's fallen asleep.
Possibly. Okay. Any more thoughts? Khan. Right. Any more?
I couldn't find the unmute button. Sorry.
Yeah. Assad, any further thoughts on anything anyone said? Or
I would like to expand on what Corey said. I think this is the most perfect time for them to actually use the guys that have been there since day one, and they are not creating stars big enough. You know, they're relying on guys like CM Punk, who obviously is a draw, but I feel guys like MJF really need to be put out there.
And Assad, have you seen Satnam Singh? He's the biggest guy they have. He is a big guy.
Yeah.
Now he can get the spotlight with his cross body.
okay, who has seen Dynamite from last night?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen most of it, but like I tried to see as much of it as I could live, and I failed in the end. But I know what happened. But okay, so just even on that, when you say about like they have to create stars or use their homegrown talent or whatever, when they showed the brackets for how they're solving the world title thing, it was like here's Moxley and Jericho who are just automatically in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Poor Daniel Bryan isn't seen as quality enough to already be in the semi-final.
I think it's because of the storyline with regards to him losing twice to Hangman.
Well, yeah, that's fair enough. No, but that's fair enough. But like my bigger point is, why does Mox and Jericho automatically, the WWE guys, be in the semi-finals just as that position?
Moxley, I can understand Moxley because he just lost it. And he did beat Punk before.
Well, yeah, no, but that's fair enough. But like, why is anyone just
Jericho,
automatically?
I don't get.
No, I know why. Jericho, he's a wizard.
He is a wizard. Yeah. But then there's like obviously like Hangman, Sammy, and who else was it? Or was it just Bryan?
It's Darby in there.
Oh, and Darby.
Darby,
It's like
Darby.
so like the three of the pillars were just like, well, they have to win an extra match because, and just doing something like that graphic is telling you because they're not at WWE level.
Yeah, true.
You know. It was interesting though that obviously Hangman wasn't involved in the backstage fight or whatever, but the fact they had him there, it makes a statement, but the fact that he then lost also kind of says something. So God knows, it's all kind of chaos. Like we have over the last couple of months seen like AEW in one way or another kind of fall apart from all of the goodwill they've had. Like a few months ago there was obviously the rumblings with Big Swole, then Cody left, and that made a big like splash with things. We'd heard even a few months before that, like Brian Cage wasn't happy, and a few things, but just recently, it's been like the Jonathan Gresham thing. There's Cody, the Thunder Rosa thing. Now there was the rumors that she was quitting, but that was a lie. But like Tony Khan a week ago was like, oh no, Thunder Rosa gets 40 seconds to go interim or whatever, and then that was fine, but when he was just like, yeah, but Thunder Rosa, she's not a draw like CM Punk, it's like, well, you just completely buried her.
Yeah.
So like Tony Khan, he needs to not do the press conferences, possibly. I'd never say that someone shouldn't be on Twitter and shouldn't do press conferences, but this is just absolutely, to me, it's told us why Vince McMahon had a John Laurinaitis or a JR or a Bruce Pritchard or a Pat Patterson or any of these goons to do the dirty business for him, because otherwise, Tony Khan now is just like, he is just like going left, right and centre, running into controversy with his talent.
And you know what? Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I think he should have at least gone down to the ring for this Dynamite promo that he did, like explaining what's going to happen with the titles. Just have courage, like somebody like Vince McMahon, that...
Did you hear, though, that they booed when Tony appeared on TV?
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
He wouldn't have coped up.
I heard the boos.
Yeah. You heard the boos, like in Canada, they spiraled that far out.
Yeah. No, you can hear it on the record, yeah.
He's probably a bit scared to head out there, to be honest.
Yeah,
and he would have got chewed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like sending out MJF first was the right person, and sending out Mox. What Mox said, it was a great rallying promo. You know, so I thought they did. Like, what could they do? They did what they could do without addressing it. But even then, it's a work. Without addressing it means that everyone's still talking.
Yeah. Oh my
God, it's
out
TJ.
of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
So TJ, we've just fully discussed everything about All Elite Wrestling. It's done
good night.
now. Yeah. So great that you made it, but we're done. Right. No.
Damn.
TJ, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Now, TJ, look, for the people watching, anyone listening, what is your take? Is it a work or is it a shoot?
At this point, I really don't know. I think we were talking about it last week, and if this is a work, they're just working it too much. Like,
No, like everyone wants to be like, oh, it's just like
No.
it's real, guys. It's real. This
No,
thing
that's not what I'm
that's
saying.
actually interesting in wrestling for once.
That's
It's
not what
real,
I'm
so
saying.
it doesn't count.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like, so the thing with MJF was a work. Now the thing with CM Punk's a work. Now the thing with the Elite's a work. Is everyone work shooting? You have one.
Yes, they are.
Okay, I'm on board. Okay, but yeah, I mean, for me, I think something, I don't know if you guys talked about it or not, but I think something that really should be mentioned is
Veer
John
Mahan.
Moxley's dedication.
And what was that?
John Moxley's dedication. The guy was supposed to go on vacation, and Tony Khan was like, yeah, I think you need to solve this issue. He just came. This is the second time he's missing. I mean, there's that as well. He should get a raise.
He was meant to go on holiday. Was he?
You have one champion who has like both titles, but he's not defending for 2 months, and you have another champion, another guy who's not even champion, and he's just, you know. But that's kind of the thing about Moxley. Even when he was a WWE champion, he would go. There were a lot of you would hear on the internet that he would go to multiple house shows. He would drive from town to town just to. He's like, I'm the champion. I need to do that. And I mean, the guy carried the company during the pandemic. After that exploding barbed wire, whatever fiasco, his daughter was supposed to be born, and yet
They delayed
because
that. Shit. Wow.
No, I mean, he didn't miss it, but he was supposed to go on a vacation, and he did not again. So I really props to Moxley, but I mean, I really other than that, I really wish MJF would have pinned CM Punk to be the champion, but if you're not getting that, it kind of looked like a hard reset. This week's Dynamite looked very much like, and I think this is also Tony Khan saying that, okay, these are our top guys. Even without them, we can succeed. Now so you're putting the titles on Death Triangle and possibly, hopefully MJF. It should totally be MJF. So yeah. Pretty. So
Okay, sorry, I'm just going to come back in because I've got my theory of why this is work is multi-layered. So, and it's going to keep coming back to me. So, and I said this on the group chat, but again for the audience, right? At every AEW pay-per-view, there's always been multiple debuts. They always pull someone, some big star or something. And yes, MJF returned. But, there was no big surprises because they knew that it wouldn't be a talking
You did
point.
have the jokers, like the people in the masks helping.
Yeah, what was that about? Did that get explained on Dynamite?
Not really.
no,
but
that
it
was
just-
MJF. Wait, that was MJF.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah,
where
it
were
was
all the
MJF,
guys helping
but It
him?
was the goons.
That wasn't.
It was Bevins, or what's his name now?
What's his?
Probably
Stokely.
money.
Stokely?
Ashley Stokeway. Stokely Hathaway.
Something around that. I can't
Something
remember.
like
No,
this.
It's some nonsense name. It's
Yeah.
fine. But him and everybody has been. He had like W. Morrissey, formerly known as Big Cass,
That's
and
Boys.
yeah, exactly the Ass Boys.
MJF has been known to in kayfabe pay people to get his dirty job done. He has done that quite a few times, so that could
Yeah, that could be the thing, but they didn't explain that, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
I think with everything that went on, and I think I really think they were also experimenting on how a face MJF run would be, and
I don't think it worked.
no, here's the thing. So I don't know if you know this or not, but apparently Jericho told MJF he should return as a face, and It's like, no. The thing is, like, MJF would be one of those cool heels
You
that
hate him so
people
much
just
that
like.
you love him.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Bullet Club in the 2017-18 days, when in Japan they were heels, but in America people loved the Bullet Club. So I
Yeah.
think MJF could be like, I mean, so if you look at D Generation X, they're kind of like, they're not really like, morally speaking, one might argue that they're not like super nice people, but when they were so
They're not nice.
They're not
they're
nice
not nice,
people.
They're
yeah.
mean boys.
So, but what I think is, what they really should do is make MJ. If they are ever turning him face, they should make him some sort of a Homelander type of, like they were trying Homelander Cody for once, where MJF, he thinks he's the good guy. He thinks he is, but in reality he's just like a bad guy. So they could do something like that.
Yeah. Right.
Also,
Yeah, go on.
he did mention the bidding war of 2024. So that's also like, and some of the things that he said, like to John Moxley, he's like, he used the term best for business to such an anti-authority character like John Moxley. He said that I want to work for the better Khan, a good old Saint Nick.
Yeah.
So,
But that's because they love to put in WWE references. They can't help
of course they
themselves. They just
Cool,
love
sounds
it.
good.
Yeah.
true, but that might also play into a storyline where they're like, imagine MJF wins the title. So I can see two things. One, MJF wins the title, he keeps it for the entirety of next year, and then it's like,
Friends to take to
Yeah.
WWE. Yeah, like Flair did, right?
exactly. Or, so MJF said that the Casino Royale chip that he won, he can use it anytime that he wants to. So does that mean this is kind of like a Money in the Bank?
Yeah, definitely.
So what if he holds on to that for the entirety of 2023, and then he's like, on the last day he cashes in?
Or alternatively, he debuts in WWE with the chip.
This is that
Yeah.
I'm cashing
for
it
the
in.
title.
And Triple H is
So
like,
that-
that money's no good here. Oh, wow. Okay, so look, we can come back to this, and there's definitely a load more. There was actually a pay-per-view before the press conference, which is weird. So there was All Out, there was Clash at the Castle. I'll be honest, I haven't seen 1 second of whatever the NXT thing was, the Worlds Collide. So I don't know what happened there. Was it good?
Nobody has.
I'm not too familiar with NXT. I was actually not shocked at all by the result because, like, if you're just taking what's the word I'm looking for?
An ambient.
Yeah, I'll take one. Actually. I'm really tired right now. I don't even need it.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence, put it that way, that most of the UK people lost
Yeah.
because they're doing away with the UK. So.
Well, it's because they hate us. Like, if you watch
Well,
Clash at the
there's
Castle, what were they doing? Like, but yeah, like, I don't
I
know.
think it was only what's their names now? Pretty Dangerous. That tag team.
Yeah.
They're the only Brits that won that weekend, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I can say that I was live at Clash at the Castle.
Let's go.
It was awesome. Like, I was up I was up very high. I was there with my girlfriend Rachel, and we were up very high. And
Okay, we get you have a girlfriend. Way to brag. Okay.
yeah, right. But like, it was the height where you had to go between looking at the ring and looking at the video just to be able to see everything. And there was a lot of 6-person like tag matches and like stuff with people on the outside. It was just felt like every match had got 6 people to try to identify. But it was a very good show. Like, I was surprised how good it was, and I think they really like set like the standard for the weekend and laid down the gauntlet to AEW. But on the British thing, even though not everyone strictly is British, obviously with Sheamus, he's Irish, but they were going for like the whole idea, because there's going to be people there. He wrestled in the UK. He's like the hometown hero, so to speak. And he lost. And as soon as he lost, I was like, oh my God, Drew is winning.
think everyone thought
Yeah.
that.
And then the false finishes in the Drew match were incredible, and the atmosphere and the noise with it
Yeah.
was insane, just with the false finishes. And then when what happened and he lost, I sat there and I was like, oh my god, there's going to be a riot. We need to leave.
Yeah.
At least they sang Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, you got the karaoke.
And then, like I said, I was there with my girlfriend, and then Tyson Fury got in, and I was like, yeah, this wrestling, it's cool and that. And he starts singing, and I was like, this is embarrassing, what's going on? But I was like, this is a Fury thing. This is a Fury thing. It's not a wrestling thing.
Yeah, because like from a fan watching at home, I was like, what is happening? Why haven't they cut the feed? I'm embarrassed for him.
Yeah.
Like I was wondering, like maybe in the like stadium that it felt like more natural, or you guys
actually,
were like, yeah.
They didn't sing Sweet Caroline other than just mentioning it, and it was the weird.
Drew tried to get him to sing it.
The weird thing with Drew doing that.
They sang.
David was there. David was there.
Yeah. Look back in anger and stuff like this.
Look back in anger.
But like the weird thing with it is like that bit. Like I think Tyson probably kind of took him somewhat by surprise, and Drew didn't know what to do in the moment. But it's like Sweet Caroline. That's what like the English fans were singing for the football, and yet we were in Wales and he's Scottish. It's like this is just not the right song for this crowd.
For me, it was really funny because I kind of forgot about time differences. So usually in Germany, pay-per-views start at like 1 a.m. Or maybe 12:30. So here it started, and I think I was somewhere outside when I came back. I think it was in the last few minutes of the pay-per-view. Then I just remembered, so I just tuned in, and I see Drew. He's singing with. I mean, I couldn't recognize Tyson Fury. I see Drew singing with some guy. I was like, okay, maybe this is like some.
Make-A-Wish?
Yeah, Make-A-Wish or that, or maybe some weird entrance for Drew, and then the pay-per-view just ends. So
You was really confused because you sent me
a
message. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I asked you what, and
what's going on?
But I tell you what, speaking of like Drew's entrance, when they had his old theme start, I was like, Drew's gonna win, sort of thing.
Same.
Yeah, it's like they're giving him a special entrance, and but yeah, they can't.
I think it was a mistake not to put it on him because now, what the hell do they do?
Yeah.
No. Because like the thing is, I think we spoke about it last week when we was there doing the predictions.
Sure.
Nuclear heat now, Roman. Nuclear heat.
Yeah.
And now you've actually created a new star with the third.
Tyson Fury? Singing
Well, yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? Solo
Sikoa.
Solo Sikoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and that was interesting because again, like one of the things about it, the thing that was disappointing for me going into the pay-per-view, to be being that, like watching on TV, I wouldn't have mattered to me either way, but being there live, for me, I was like, oh, I'm going to see Roman live, I'm going to see Drew live, and I'll tell you what, there was like actually at the castle, which is next door to the stadium, Drew was there, and I was just like in absolute awe. Like I'll share the video at some point. I completely geeked out, but. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think you're going to go with it. Go on.
Right, and so I was just like, oh my god, I'm so on his side now. He's our countryman sort of thing. Go on, Gav.
I thought you was going to lose it when you saw Brett.
Oh my god, do you know what, Brett, like, okay, so when he was on the screen, I was going to get to Brett in a moment, because, again, I was like, I can't see anywhere where he is in the arena, but it was cool knowing that he was there. But then, obviously, so Brett was there, but for me, Edge, Mysterio... it was cool Finn Balor being there. Some of the others, I felt like, there was some
Madcap
other.
Moss?
No, not Madcap Moss. But I was like, why isn't AJ here? Why aren't? No, but I was like, okay. So again, hang on, wherever I put it, like when you get the brochure, they call it not a brochure, like the program, and it's like that's the poster on the front. And like it's cool. Bianca was there, and obviously no Brock. And no Ronda, and like Seth was cool to be there. No Charlotte, no Lashley, no New Day. It's just like there were so many that I'd been like so excited to see that weren't there. But for the ones that were there, it was cool. But overall, I was like, this is such a good show in spite of it not having some of my favourites.
And the matches got a long time as well.
They
which
did.
was really good.
Because when
Yeah.
a week ago, Gav, you'll remember, I was like,
Yeah.
there's only 6 matches. What's going on?
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
Yeah.
But
they've
none
done
of
really
them
well.
dragged. None of them dragged. And Riddle and Seth was that was a really good match because I thought it was going to. What was the order of the matches? I thought after Mysterio and that.
Yeah.
That match, Dominic turn. We can get into that as well.
Yeah,
but I thought it was going to be like, it's going to like have a bit of a drop down. But no, the show kept building.
Yeah. And you know what? The crowd. Brilliant. Brilliant. I think I tweeted a few times. I was just like, I love this crowd. It's the best crowd ever.
Yeah. Oh my god, they started singing the Bailey song as well.
Yeah.
That was years ago they first did that.
So good.
Brilliant.
And now she had to, like, because she's a heel, she had to be like, stop it, I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so Rhea Ripley made a man of Dominic Mysterio. Let's react to this.
Oh,
Hey, oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's like it was inevitable. I don't know that this was the right time for Dominic to turn because it's still like a long ways from WrestleMania. Because I assume the eventual thing is Dominic versus Ray,
Yeah.
and 2 of the big ones are already done, right? Like SummerSlam passed, WrestleMania's not for a long time. So I hope it happened closer to that. But I mean, it makes sense. Like everybody was calling it since they became a tag team. So
Triple H has taken over, right?
mm-hmm.
I think it's probably going to go back to how it used to be. Like, if you go back to, speaking of Brett and Owen,
Yeah.
it actually fell apart at the Survivor Series, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Like, they kept it from there, like...
Because the Survivor Series, was Owen the only one to lose in the...
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And then they made up for the Royal Rumble,
That's right.
and that's when Brett kicked his
That's
leg
when-
out his leg.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're on something there. And also, like, if this had happened just before Mania, then you'd be like, well, probably Dominic should win at Mania, or
Yeah.
if Ray wins, then Dominic's going to have to build up. They could exchange a couple of wins or something, and then
Yeah.
at Mania they could do a ladder match, or they could
Rubber
do
match, yeah.
yeah, absolutely, just something, or maybe
Wait,
at WrestleMania they reunite.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said rubber match. It should have been a leather match, considering Dom's new predilection for leather.
Absolutely.
I'm your pappy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they gonna go with the idea that
Who's this new guy?
yeah, like they should just literally say that, like
Ray versus Rhea?
yeah,
Another custody of Dominic match.
yeah. Okay, so what was the storyline though? Because I can't remember. Was it that they actually said that Eddie was the actual father?
Yeah, so apparently Eddie's his kayfabe biological father.
Yeah, they should totally lean into this.
They're going to go with it, yeah.
Like, actually just be like, you aren't my father. Eddie Guerrero is my father. You
The
know.
only thing is, Dom looks too much like Ray. That's
I
the
know,
only
I
thing.
know. But you only know that if you saw him demasked in WCW.
Right, yeah.
You know, but he's the
Also-
spitting image of him.
So much short. It's wild.
Yeah, exactly.
It's wild that his father is on his shoulder.
I want to know what Dominic's who is Dominic's mother? Well, is it El Gigante's sister or something?
Have you seen the new Marvel series She-Hulk?
There you go. There you go. Oh, speaking of She-Hulk, Braun Strowman returned. So
Oh, yes.
Yes.
True.
yeah, and I can't remember who said, but someone said that he should have a bit of a new look, and he kind of did. He was in the red, and he wasn't like dressed out like Braun was back in the day.
Because I was going to say, like, I think last week we was speaking about it, and I said that I'm not a fan of his. This Braun Strowman, a lot better.
Yeah.
So,
I just don't love that it was in just that they just totally put down the whole tag team division. Like
That's the
just
only thing.
they're
That's
like,
just
oh,
Braun's
these
gimmick.
are-
That's
these are-
just Braun's gimmick.
Yeah, I know he's gonna bring back Nicholas. They're gonna take the tag team titles again.
Do you know what?
But it's
Like,
just
has anyone seen what? Like, not. I'm not saying this because I have, but how long ago was that? Nicholas might be. He may be of age to be a wrestler.
No, he has to do his homework. He left because he had to do his homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, him and like Goldberg's son. Like when
Oh,
when we
yeah,
first saw him, and then
Yeah.
when we last saw him, it's like, wait a second, like
Like, what
where's
happened?
where's this guy suddenly
True.
like hitting the gym and stuff?
Yeah.
You know.
Gage, baby.
Okay, so what else has happened this week? Like, okay, let's talk about All Out, the actual show, or any of the matches that's
Clash at the
happened.
Castle?
Raw, Dynamite, Clash at the Castle, any of them.
So much wrestling, hasn't it?
Yeah, what matches? What was the match of the last week for anyone?
Well,
Sheamus and Walter.
Gunther.
Sheamus and
Yeah.
Walter.
Yeah.
what about
Really? Is
Madcap
that what we're
Moss
going
and
for?
the Street Profits versus Austin Theory and the Alpha Academy?
Okay, I'm going to share a personal story about that match because obviously that was the pre-show,
Yeah.
and like,
You went and took a pee.
yes, absolutely, yes. And here's the weird thing, because you think it's wrestling fans, and so when we went out, it's like, oh, where's the ladies, where's the gents, and like along the the arena, there was like 6 toilets for like ladies, and then like 1 for gents, because obviously cubicles and all of this sort of stuff. But this was a wrestling event, so 80% of the people there were guys, so there was a crowd of 200 people, and I was just like, I'll go later. And I waited till after the show. It was fine though. It was fine.
Wow.
I survived it. But yeah. So other than that, Gunther versus Sheamus was not my piss break match. So it was very good.
Very good.
Yeah. He made meat out of him.
But was it
Just
the
like-
match? Was it the match of the weekend?
Maybe not. It stuck out in my head because it was so different.
Yeah.
Did you see the All Out pre-show with Eddie Kingston and Ishii?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's like
No,
it's basically Sheamus versus Gunther, but like to the extreme. I think like they saw that match like, oh, you think you can
Yeah,
chop?
we're gonna level it up. Yeah.
Wow.
So true.
Oh my god! And have you
Yeah,
seen Sheamus from
What was
After?
with, sorry,
Yeah,
I was gonna
oh.
say, what was with the no handshake at the end? He was just like, no, I don't need it.
Wait, whose handshake?
Ishii.
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Interesting. I don't know. What about from like? I'll be honest. Maybe it's because
also-
I was there, but for me, Roman and Drew delivered.
That was a brilliant.
Yeah,
Like,
that was good. It was
and,
great.
and I think it was a thing. So probably Gunther and Sheamus may have been a better match and harder hitting, and just a better wrestling match. But the audience, yeah, it was one of these things where, like when we say about Rock and Hogan, and just the audience, it was kind of like being there. I don't know how it was on TV because I didn't watch it, and I'm not going to. Like when I see a show live, I don't want to watch it because you kind of rewrite the memory.
You know what? I'm the same.
Yeah.
Went to WrestleMania 27. When I was there, brilliant. Tried to watch it coming back
It
home,
diminishes it, right?
and it was just like, this was a shit WrestleMania.
Wow.
And it was just,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, from All Out though, what was the match of the card? Anyone?
For me, I would say the Elite versus the Dark Order and Hangman Page. Really like that match. But I also like the main. No, also Sorvin Our Glory versus the Acclaimed.
That was a
was
great
huge.
match.
That was great.
Really
Yeah.
like that match. But I also like kind of I think so this is more of not from just the wrestling point of view, but because we did not know what was going on with CM Punk. I really
Oh no!
Really
You
what?
like the CM Punk and John Moxley match. No, I really like that match because I was kind of more intrigued about. So it's kind of more of how I like the second Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels WrestleMania match over the first.
What?
Not hear me out. Not because not talking about in terms of just wrestling,
Yeah.
but the second match had a lot more at stake. Like, is Shawn Michaels retiring? Is the so that kind of I think over here the John Moxley CM Punk match, because we knew all this was going on, because we knew is MJF gonna show up. It was kind of very obvious from the start that MJF is the one with the mask. So with all that, it kind of made me. I was at the edge of my seat. I wanted to know what's happening, what's going on. So I was the most, dare I say, Scopes entertained in that match, even though AEW is a wrestling company. So Not
That's
Sports
both.
Entertainment, just Jericho.
Well, even Jericho and Bryan delivered. You know,
No,
I think that's a match
Yeah,
people aren't talking about enough.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Also, yeah.
Yeah. But coming back to what you said, Acclaimed and Swerve and Lee, that was a great match.
That was a hot match.
That really over delivered. Like, not over delivered,
Wait.
but it exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
Everybody do me a favor right now and
Scissor me, daddy. Do you know what? I think I mentioned this again from the press conference. Like, if people like stopped watching after Punk, keep watching throughout because there's so much. Like, I feel sorry for Tony Khan because
I was going to say, that's what was going to be one of my points.
well, with Swerve and Lee out there, and Tony Khan, like he needs to shut up, right? Because he's like, yeah, maybe we'll do the rematch then, and Swerve is like, why? Because also you can see what's happening in Swerve's mind is he's going to take the titles off of us.
Exactly.
And I was like, and then Tony's like, oh, nervous, like, I don't know, I need to think about it. And I was like, Tony,
was having a little go
Tony,
with, Keith.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have to prove ourselves.
Yeah. And Tony Khan is just like you can see him. He's got no authority at all. but Swerve. Did you see Swerve come out and interrupt on Dynamite?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Massive heel now.
Yeah, but he played it so well.
Yeah.
But as soon as listen, and then boom, he comes out. That was
so looking
great.
forward to that rap as well.
I know. But what could he do? They knew that they couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's also because if you can't exactly do that without mentioning everything that's going on, and
that's always been his idea. But it's funny because I think the fact that they didn't get to do a rap made it so everybody hated that Daniel Bryan's guy was doing a live rap. Like, why the hell are we have this?
Yeah.
This is what we want. Nobody wants this.
What was I going to say? Shit, I've forgotten. Don't worry, keep going. I'll come back to it.
My point was with Khan, going back to Khan. That scrum just showed he had no control at all.
Yeah.
And even
he
Tony Storm
can't
was
control
actually
his
in that
narrative.
match as well. And I was like, hang on a minute. These guys are actually telling him what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Tony Storm done it. Swerve in Our Glory done it.
Yeah.
Punk.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we spoke about it here or if I spoke about this with someone else, but there was this one media scrum where Punk was like, I'm going after the title next. And
Yes.
Tony Khan
Yes,
looked at
TJ.
him like, what?
Yeah,
that's right.
because Tony's face was like, like this. And Punk, who knows what's... this? I'm Team Punk until I hear otherwise, is the truth of it, right?
Same.
Because... he always wanted to take things seriously, and he probably came from WWE where there was Vince and Triple H and politics, and then he looks at Tony Khan, everyone's just saying, "Hey Tony, can we do this?" And he's like, "Oh yes," and literally his way of dealing with Joey Janela and Marco Stunt is just to shy away from them. Punk is probably just like, there is no one in charge here,
Yeah, and also I think that leads to why there was 15 cards on the match.
Yeah, I want to. Can I have a match, Tony? Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas as Clash of the Castle, there was 6 matches, I think, and it was just so much, like you said, the match was able to breathe, and the storylines. Instead, it's we get a 7-minute match, 4-minute match, 5-minute match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was one other thing which maybe I misheard it because again it was very late. I'm sure on Dynamite last night they referred to Moxley as a 3-time world champion.
That was.
Did they count that combined? He was interim.
No. They included his. So they referred to Chris Jericho as a 7-time world champion, Danielson as a 6. So they included his WWE championship.
But they slipped up on it because one of them said 3-time AEW champion.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe it was just a slip up.
That was a botch, but the brackets clearly I saw it said Jericho's a 6-time world champion.
That's right.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, that's what I heard, Gav. I'm sure they said it, and then, but yeah, absolutely. If they're saying Jericho's 7-time and stuff like this,
I was waiting for everyone to go on Twitter and go on about it, but
I think that they should have included R-Truth in this series because he has held the 24/7 title
There you go.
endless amounts of times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, Bodal is yet to be eliminated from the Royal Rumble.
True.
Longest time.
Oh yeah, Curtis Axel, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, Curtis Axel.
Curtis
sorry.
Axel.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? That reminds me of what I was going to say earlier. When on the press conference with about the Acclaimed with Keith Lee, Tony Khan was like, the Acclaimed have become the most winningest tag team in AEW history. And the thing that came into my head then, and I love the Acclaimed, but it was like, it's just because their entrance. Everyone loves their entrance, so they're on every show. So that's why they've got the most. They've had the most matches just because of their entrance.
And he's done with them as well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's changed everything. Yeah, thank God they didn't take him away.
Probably his best gimmick.
Who, Billy Gunn?
I mean
Yeah.
that also. So I've always been a big criticizer of Karrion Kross. I think Karrion Kross is just an entrance. If you take, I've said this on the show before. If you take away Scarlett and if you take away the entrance, you get Karrion Kross's last main roster career.
You can say that about Triple H as well, or The Undertaker.
Well, yeah.
No, but they can
They
actually
can
wrestle.
still tell a story during the match.
I was going to say, this is the first time I've actually
All-
watched Karrion Kross.
Hulk Hogan.
His Japan stuff is good. But Karrion, like, this, like, I think this is the first time I've actually seen him, like, actually wrestle. And I was just like, really?
Exactly.
On to the main event?
Oh my god! Do you know what? A couple of weeks ago, Karrion Kross, when he like returned or something, and he did his like promo. I forgot to do this. At some point, I'm going to have to do it, but I'll just describe it because otherwise I'll forget. His return promo. It sounded like the Shockmaster's promo. I kid you not. I wanted to get the footage of the Shockmaster and put Karrion Kross's promo over the top, and it sound like I'll find it later. You'll see. It sounds like the Shockmaster's promo. That was like the intensity of it. I can't remember where I heard it. It may have been like on, like the podcast with Bully Ray or the podcast with Conan. Just one of these. I saw a clip and they were dissecting Karrion Kross's return promo. So all I did was hear it. And I was like, it literally sounds like the Shockmaster said this. So
Well, I don't know if you saw, though, because he was also wearing a bedazzled Stormtrooper helmet when he did his debut. So.
I know.
He just didn't trip. He didn't trip, so that's why they kept the gimmick.
Yeah,
Braun Strowman did, though.
Braun did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
was that?
that's
I don't know if that was his fault. Wasn't it just that like Gable moved?
I mean, the train got derailed. The trains get derailed at times, guys.
It's true. Yeah.
One of my favorite things in NXT was this promo between Karrion Kross and Adam Cole. Adam Cole says, "You get the girl, you get the smoke machine, you get the cool fog, you get the entrance. That's what they do to make you look special. You know what they do to make Adam Cole look special? They ring the freaking bell." And I was like, "Holy shit!"
That was brilliant.
When was that?
In NXT.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. Right. Okay. Is there any other major things to react to? We can't have covered it all,
I
guys.
just want to know your reactions. Work or shoot for the Punk thing. I was
Well, this is how we started, but like, I am 100%. This was the greatest work of all time, and
you're not being sarcastic or ironic.
well, no, I'm 100%. No, look, I am 100% serious. I think this is completely a work. Everything about it. All of the things, like, since he came to AEW, Punk has been literally recreating moments from Bret Hart's career. The backstage Montreal Screwjob brawl. Okay.
Right.
Right. That was a weird reaction there, TJ. Like, you were, like, we literally saw your mind blown. Right. But yeah, that. But not only that. Bret Hart was a heel to America, but a face to everywhere else. By doing this, obviously they can't do it based on geography, but now Punk will be a heel to some and a face to others. Everything about this, like the fact that he started he went into the rant without a question leading into it. He knew what he was trying to achieve there. I do think there is the possibility that Punk may have just felt like this bozo isn't running the company, so I'm just going to do something brilliant. and I'm not going to tell any of them. And maybe that's what Punk was doing. And then he went backstage, and then he hadn't clued anyone in, or maybe he clued in Omega and the Bucks, and like what? And also Ace Steel. Like I've heard that name in the past, I had no clue who Ace Steel was, but suddenly a week ago he's running down, he's got the contract. I got the contract, Punk, and you got to fight, and I'm going to swear on TV like you're about to in a couple of weeks' time, just so that we can have the full guy. So then, like, Ace Steel is there, and look, and what everyone on Twitter. Now, I'm serious on this point. Everyone on Twitter saying that Kenny Omega's a hero for saving CM Punk's dog. CM Punk was in an argument with Kenny Omega. If I'm arguing with someone and they take my dog, I'm going to go after that guy.
Thank you.
Exactly.
And like the thing is as well, apparently they went to his door.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely everything about this.
And it's just like,
yeah, I mean,
you're in a room, right? Picture yourself. After you've just had that heated little discussion. You've gone in your room, trying to chill out. You've got your little dog there.
Yeah.
You've got your best friend and his wife. And then someone's there beating down your door.
Yeah.
And then apparently knocks it down. What are you going to do?
And also, like, people know about Larry the dog, but Larry the dog, if people heard this, ran out in front of the crowd at the start. That's a bit convenient. They wanted everyone to know the dog was there.
Yeah.
It's a work, guys.
I feel like I also thought of the Ace Steel thing, like, how convenient that he's part of this angle like 1 week before, then he's suddenly involved in this. And I mean, if this is not a work and if this is a shoot, then I would say CM Punk really needs help, like serious psychiatric.
But why would he ruin all the goodwill that CM Punk has had for a decade? Why would he throw it away over Colt Cabana?
I was going to say, like, obviously something's going on.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think I mentioned it in the chat. I'm the most placid guy in the world until you rile me up. And, like, I kind of see CM Punk the same way. And I think he's got riled up somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
But if this is a work, then does this lead to CM Punk's gone for a few months. If they really want to turn CM Punk heel, MJF. So MJF has been complaining about all these ex-WWE guys and all this. MJF say he wins the title. He keeps it for 8 months, and then Punk beats him for the title and turns heel. And then Tony Khan just booked another ex-WWE guy who has been, let's say, creating all these backstage issues to win the title. CM Punk could have this uber heel push. So they could do...
Well, that's the other thing. So CM Punk, when he came in, literally in his debut promo in AEW, he was like, oh, we've got a lot of talk about, but I've got the time to talk about it, or whatever he said.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to it, right? And then it's like people said, oh, then he's wrestling against like job guys, basically. Whoever he wrestled, it was like, oh, where's the fire? Where's the spark? You know, CM Punk needs to be a loner against the machine.
Yeah.
And so now, this is what I said. So like, he was against the machine being Vince McMahon, but especially Triple H. And it's like, now you can't be against WWE and be against AEW, because why would he stay? But if he's not against AEW and he's arguing for AEW, but against the Triple H or the Jeff Jarrett or the Cody or whoever you want, the ones that are who are wrestlers who put themselves in top positions, the EVPs, they're the perfect antagonist which fit into the Triple H thing. It's a work, guys.
I would really want this to be a work.
Well, it's just boring if it's not, to be honest.
It's boring if it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not professional. I think it is a work, because going back to Larry the dog being in the room, it's similar to, I don't know if you know this about Larry the Cable Guy, the comedian. He's actually not a cable guy. So I think Larry the dog is not actually a dog. It's just Colt Cabana wearing a just snout and dog ears.
You're onto something.
Working us all.
Yeah, I thought it was Roman Reigns. I thought it was Roman Reigns' cousin, the small dog, not the big dog.
Oh yeah, there you go. You know.
That's true. Yeah, maybe it's the four of you. So.
I'll get a trivia for you now. I know we usually start off with trivia.
Yeah, go on.
CM Punk is the shortest reign 2-time AEW champ.
Wow, that's true, actually.
Yeah.
Like he's won. Is he the first person in history in any promotion to win the world championship twice and then never actually defend or lose it?
I think so.
Wow.
I mean, since the title will be vacated till Grand Slam,
Why isn't it an interim situation if he's injured?
I think, again, to show, yeah, then I think if it's a shoot, they don't know what to do with him. If it's a work, they need to show you that they don't know what to do with him. But it'll be funny because both of his reigns combined will still be shorter than Bacon's AEW World Championship reign.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right, guys, we'll begin to wrap things up in a minute or two. But is there any...
I also need to go in some time, so.
Well, no, you can't, TJ. Right,
You
no.
must
Is there anything else people want to react to? I will refresh the page to see if there's like new stuff on Twitter or whatever. More details on Ace Steel allegedly biting Kenny Omega. We didn't even really respond to the fact that biting was involved.
Dude, Ace Steel is the dog.
You're right,
Oh.
yeah.
He's in character.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
It all comes together.
CM Punk has torn triceps.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jake Hager signs contract extension with AEW.
Now that's a mystery in itself. That's probably the
Yeah.
biggest mystery in wrestling at the moment. But
Jake Hager?
Yeah.
was that Corey?
Jake Hager is the biggest mystery.
Well, yeah. Like I don't get it.
They probably
did he
want
exist?
someone to challenge CM Punk to a UFC match.
Well, didn't Bobby Fish challenge him?
Ah, yeah, Bobby Fish did that, but Bobby Fish is no longer with the company.
Well, that's why you can do it though.
Robert Fish.
Like we haven't heard from FTR at all, which is interesting.
I'm gonna just miss that Bobby Fish song. That's all.
Yeah.
Fish. How'd it go?
Fish.
Right. Okay. It doesn't look like there's any. CM Punk has torn triceps. Anything else? Blah blah blah.
Have you noticed we haven't spoken about Vince?
Vince. Who? What?
Vince is the dog. Vince and CM. Then we have that Austin Vince heel turn moment where Larry the dog opens his mask and it's Vince and he's like, "It was me, Tony.
Yeah.
It was me all along." And then we have the handshake between Punk and.
Yeah. Right. Well. Anyway.
Look, I think that the biggest controversy right now is that NXT 2.0's look, there's a bit of gimmick infringement. We got Johnny Stromboli way back when. It's clearly being infringed on NXT. And I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah. Well, there's loads that have done that over the years, though. Like I'm still not over the fact that Damien Sandow was just the genius, and they never actually brought in the genius to do anything with him.
Yeah.
You know. And who was the new Dean Douglas? What was that? That was Matt Stryker. They have recycled some weird gimmicks that just didn't need recycling.
I mean, what? $1 Million Man?
Well,
Who's
who?
that now? Is that
Well,
JBL?
JBL was kind of $1 million
even
man.
Harry the viral now as well?
Cameron Grimes from NXT.
Well, yeah, true. Wow. Okay, guys, we'll begin to wrap things up there. I do just have something from the Iron Sheik, though. It's a couple of tweets, actually. Well, there's a lot of tweets. They're of a slightly more serious tone. So, the Iron Sheik says, "Respect the Queen." So that's the most recent tweet. But then he's got, down here... In fact, I'm not going to read it because it might end up seeming disrespectful. I can't tell the tone of it. But respect the Queen. We'll go with that one. TJ, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram. You can check All Elite TJ Ripper if you want to see some nerdy artwork. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Gav, where can the people find you?
Right here. Next time. Whenever I come up.
Awesome. Corey.
I host a show in Toronto, Good News Toronto. It's at Good News Comedy on all the socials. Bring back the Shakaroni pizza, because if we do, he might make an appearance on another episode of Dynamite. And more specifically, find me in my hometown of Dildo.
Okay. My
Really,
name.
mate?
My name is David Postansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Postansky, all next to Corey there. But more importantly than that, make sure you smash the subscribe button on any of the YouTube channels. Do check out Slam Jam. There's like a Slam Jam Facebook page, Facebook group, Twitter, and all that stuff as well. And we'll keep digging into the conspiracy theories of everything in wrestling, guys. Like, we've gone so far, and where is the boogeyman these days? We'll never be sure.
I'm gonna get ya.
Exactly. So until next time. Oh, in fact, guys, I've got audience. There's like live shows coming up. Go to extreme.tv and check out like the live improv shows. I'm doing one tomorrow, and preparing for it has been absolutely tiring. So do come along. But with this, from me, from everyone else, keep slamming and jamming, stay safe, and ciao for now. Boom.